let's talk about some drivers that are great to help eliminate a slice. Guys, everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 74 of No Putts Given, and you caught us. We didn't put the Sim 2 into the driver test. Just kidding. Read the article. It's there. Guys, we've got Harry, Tony, and Chris here, so let's get it.
The other one we got, too, is, hey, when are you going to post the data instead of just the rankings? And I'm like...
That is also there.
I know. It's clear a lot of people read the article the same way that I read my biology textbook in college, which is to say I skimmed for big words that were bolded and tried to go from there.
Some people read how I listen to my wife, so I can't really fault them too much. Hit me with the bold text.
One of the best comments as well was, we just spent close to 2 months doing this test, and it was like labor intensive. It was hard because I watched it all from my office, watching Philip go through it. And then it was, hey, thanks. When are the swing speed articles going to come out? I was like, dude, just let us get through this. Let us have our moment for just 1 second.
That's it, man. It's drive-through publication. I want to order it now and have it, by the next window.
Yeah.
So
dear.
Yeah. That is on the calendar, though, so
it's
late
coming,
March.
though. March.
If all goes according to plan.
Swing speed breakdown is our chili cheese burrito. Everybody wants it, but it's hard to get.
That one's made to order a little bit. You got to wait a little longer.
Damn it, Toulon, let's go.
Well, we've got something else innovative and new and fresh that I know all of our readers are going to love. We've got that to talk about today. Sun Mountain has come out with the new Boom golf bag. Harry, why don't you give us the lowdown on why this particular bag is special?
Because it goes boom.
Yeah. I mean,
kaboom, baby.
I mean, it has speakers built into the bag. That's the main feature.
That's the boom.
That's the main feature of the Boom.
It has the blue teeth, right?
Yes, the blue teeth involved in it. It has an app that comes with it. It's just a cart bag with bloody speakers in it. So, is it revolutionary? Meh. Is it cool? Yeah. Dave put a really good article on it. It has a really good. It's a good in-depth article just on its features alone. Is the sound quality any good on the speakers? Blah blah blah. I would love to get it into testing for cart bags, but it just didn't quite get here in time. So we decided to do a We Tried It article on it, and Dave did a great job on it too.
Dave always does a great job on his articles. We wanted to have him here, but unfortunately couldn't make our scheduling work. So Harry, as just our golf bag expert, what does this bag offer beyond having speakers?
I mean, from the looks of it, because I haven't got it in testing for this year in 2021, it looks like a standard just cart bag. I mean, it comes with 14 full-length dividers or a 5-way top version, depending on your preference. 6 colorways. It weighs an astounding 9 pounds, which is very heavy for a golf bag.
Yeah.
Beefy.
But it has a speaker.
Well, it has a couple of speakers, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's right. If you clip a couple of decent sized or reasonable sized Bluetooth speakers to your bag, how much does it weigh then? So,
well, yeah, but still, it's still a heavy bag considering a tour bag that we had, a mini tour bag in here for kart testing. It was around about, I think, 7.5 pounds, 13 pockets, individual putter well, and it's for $329.99.
Ooh. Ouch.
Pricey.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris. So for $329.99, you can integrate your speakers into your bag. Are you doing it?
For $330, I would say this. It would have to, the speaker quality would have to blow me away. Because I'm one of those people, I do like to have a speaker. I like to have music going when I'm playing. Obviously, I haven't personally tested it. We haven't had it into the facility yet. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's kind of the stock stereo in a car situation, right? Where it's good, but not great. And if you're really into music stuff, you probably end up redoing some of that stuff on your own. For $330, like I said, the sound quality would have to absolutely blow me away for that convenience factor for me to throw out a few more shekels for it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to go with a speaker that I really like, that works really well. We have some that clip on, you have some that are, pretty easy to tag along with you. So that's what I would be looking at.
Tony, how about the concept? Are you rolling up to go play golf with your buddies with a speaker golf bag, the Sun Mountain Boom?
No, but just because I would habitually forget to charge it, and so it would be useless anyway. Like that's just my reality, and I think the price premium to get the integrated speakers is probably pretty high, or at least it's way higher than I want to pay for a golf bag with any feature.
What would you pay $330 for?
Yeah. I mean, there. I don't want to be totally exclusionary here. There is perhaps a feature that I'm unaware of that could be like, all right, yeah, I'm in. But yeah, I'm not buying it. I think I would probably lean towards getting the golf bag that has everything I want in a golf bag, and then going and getting a Bluetooth speaker or speakers that have everything I want in a Bluetooth speaker.
We've talked about this before, and it's a subject that divides our readers, and it seems like golfers in general, about music on the golf course becoming more commonplace. Some people, like on either side of it, get really angry. So is this an indication of the direction that golf is going? Are we going to start seeing more music on the golf course, despite the people who say it takes away from the game?
I mean, we're already seeing that happen. That's the reason why we test Bluetooth speakers, because we see it happening on the golf course. It's the trend that's happening in the industry. Yeah, it's getting bigger. The demographic is getting younger. The older generation is dying off. Should I say?
Well said, Harry. Yes. The older generation is dying.
It's dying off, and the younger generation are coming through. And all these millennials are coming up with the
millennials. They're a subset of the millennials.
Millennials.
I think, are we even beyond millennials at this point? I feel like
There's Gen Zers out. Well, I don't know. How old is Gen Z?
The hell is a Gen Zer?
I don't know. I'm Gen X, so I don't. Yeah.
You and I are millennials, Harry.
For sure.
Millennials are now in their 30s, so everyone who blames the world's problems on millennials are blaming it on like new moms and dads and stuff.
So whatever this is, Harry, it's your fault.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Pretty clearly.
But yeah, there is so many people out there that just hate it. They hate us every year when we do this article. And I said,
"Oh God,
I'm following on YouTube. I'm following on this, blah blah blah." And then next year rolls around, and the same comments from the same people still pop up.
And this time, I mean it.
Even this article. While we're shooting this, it's been out for 2.5 hours, and we've already got comments saying, no, hold on, let me scroll to the first one.
Here's a comment from Facebook. As dumb as it is awful, nothing screams asshole on a golf course quite like this.
My favorite is, kill me now, Lord, the end is near. No. like it's that bad.
Yeah. Can we do a study? I think we talked about this before. Like, if we could do like a demographic analysis of people that are, I'm going to call them anti-fun, but anti-music on the course. Is that, and a crossover with that, and people that like sit on like an HOA board.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Like, here's another one. Oh Lord, no, please. No, not my golf course. Please, no.
This whole golf course is my lawn, and you need to get off it.
Yeah. And that person, when they go home, is walking around their neighborhood, making sure that everybody's shingles match the right color palette, or that their trash can was taken in no fewer than 24 hours after the trash was collected. Or
is that a thing? HOA, like I'm on the edge, I may start having to deal with an HOA here in a year or so. Is that a real thing? Because I suck at
yes.
Dude, don't
Harry and
do it.
I said, listen, I should go get the letter that our HOA just sent Harry and I, because they called us names, disobedient and lackadaisical, and then took away our bulk trash. Hi, Pumi. Hello. What was that? Who do we know that would be a no music HOA type person?
John Gordon.
Let's call him.
Our editor, John Gordon.
Because we have no perspective here. All of us are play the music type people. We need another voice.
Tony, call John or Chris.
Get him on the line.
Let's see if I have his number here real quick.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Pick up, you old crusty man.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, John, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, good. We're filming No Putts Given right now, literally, as I'm talking to you, and we're debating the savage reality of music on the golf course, and we couldn't think of anybody that might be able to give a really good argument against music on the golf course. We needed a crusty, old, angry, potentially
dangerous to themselves,
dangerous, slightly violent human, and all we could figure out was to call you.
I'll see if I can find somebody, but in the meantime, you're stuck with me.
Yeah. All right, so either you either hold that opinion, or I'm sure that you play with people that do. What are these people?
Nobody plays with John Gordon.
Well, that could be it. Are we off our rockers on this music on the golf course thing, or is it really that egregiously moronic that people want to, listen to some, cross Canadian ragweed or whatever?
Oh, rockers! I see what you did there. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, of course. I'm of a certain age. I'm in my late 60s. Music was never contemplated any more than, somebody walking on your line of putt or
your lawn,
accidentally coughing in your backswing. But, at first I was, I guess, without evidence against it. But I play with a few guys now that, and most of them are younger, obviously, but, they keep the volume to a minimum. For the most part, their playlists are fantastic, and to me, it's not diminishing the quality of the experience in the least.
Oh, so so I'm glad to hear that you found some rational, objective place to land on the topic. But those that do, because I'm sure some really crusty old people, like, what is their deal? Like, the people that are argumentative and they're downright combative.
I think in Canada, it's just people who don't like Rush.
It goes to the heart of, I think, one of the basic elements of what harms golf's brand as such is that there are those, I'm one, but I don't think I'm of the same ilk, but there are folks out there of my generation and younger generations, there's no doubt about it, who, are stuck with the collared shirts and, hopefully not the Bermuda shorts and the high socks, but,
But why?
It was tough for them to move away from hickory shafts and feathery balls. So I just don't get the fact that, especially coming out of a 2020, where one of the unanticipated effects of the pandemic was that golf around the world saw a huge bump in participation by new golfers and lapsed golfers. And who's to say that some of those lapsed golfers aren't folks who just got turned off by the elitist attitude of some of these, stick in the mud that, far from music on the golf course being one of their big worries.
Right.
The fact that maybe you didn't have those kilties on your golf shoes, was a big worry.
Downright snobbery. Those people that you've seen, and that, what would you, if we were to take 100 of those individuals, what percentage of those 100 do you think sit on their local HOA board in their neighborhood?
I'm gonna let this go.
La Boca Vista. I see a Seinfeld. I don't get those folks. I never have. I've always loved puncturing people's balloons. I think, somebody wrote a profile on me one time.
I know you edit my stories. I'm well aware of your proclivity to puncture balloons.
I'm a relentless prick, as Tony Covey told me. I take that as a badge of honor. But some guy did a profile on me. Kind of in the world of golf writers, I'm a cactus in a field of flowers. Which so I don't mind taking on these guys. These people could hear a butterfly fart 2 fairways over. So the fact that there's just some soothing music in the background, even if it's not your particular taste. What the hell with you? I'll find another foursome to play with.
Chris, what if it's not soothing?
Yeah, what if it's not Rush?
Yeah, what if it's not Rush? Because we know if it's Canadian players and it's not Rush, you're probably going to throw a hissy fit.
I hate Rush. And to to make matters worse, okay, I'm alone in that. I don't really like the tragically hip either, but so I'm sure I'll get stoned the next time I go to the golf course. But the original drummer for Rush, John Rutsey, was now deceased, was the younger brother of my best friend of all time, who I play golf with all the time up here in Midland. So there you go. There's a little bit of music trivia for you.
Huh. You never know what you're going to learn when you
call John
just
Gordon.
randomly call relentless pricks on the phone and ask them questions, right? That's the moral to this story.
I'd rather be, like RP rather than RIP at my age. So, I'll take that again as a badge of honor.
Well, John, thank you for your time. Thank you for your perspective. We always appreciate it, and we wish you well up there in the Nordic land. Tony does not wish you well. The rest of us do. Tony does not.
It's a great podcast. You guys do a great job. Thanks.
Well, thank you for lying and saying that. We appreciate it.
Cheers.
All right, be well.
Bye, John.
There
we still can't find anyone.
He's been editing our articles too long. He's converted.
Yeah, he was crusty. Like at the start, we wasn't allowed to say.
Yeah, he used to take all the bad words out of it.
That was gone, and now he's converted. He's given in.
To me, that's definitive. If John Gordon can't find it in his heart to be against music, then it has to be a very sad, dark, depressing place in which these people live that are against it. Like, they go from the golf course yelling at it, hating it, go home, yell hate whatever that is, kick the dog, and then go to the HOA meeting in the afternoon.
Start sending letters out. Yeah.
This is the tough part about it, because a lot of these guys who are older can't control the flatulence.
Where was this going?
So when it comes to on the golf course, I am swinging and they're farting in my backswing. So what's the difference? Music or farts? They're the same thing.
It always takes an odd turn in Harry's world.
So not only are they on the HOA, according to Harry, they are piss poor golfers.
And they have flatulence problems.
Right? I don't think we have any data to back that up, although I am sticking with my HOA comment.
Completely irrelevant. Have you ever played the game, this is a golf game as well, where if you fart on your backswing and you make par, you triple the bet that you're playing on, because it's like, just try it. Whoever's out there, try and fart in their backswing and you're playing with people. Just try it. Just try it. So much fun.
Just Miranda, I'm going to give you a heads up right now. I will not be checking the comments section on YouTube this week.
This is a great topic.
Okay,
this is a great
I'll give you a week off. Anyway, so I hereby decree that music is normal on the golf course because John Gordon gave us permission. So, Chris, if you had a walk-up song, what would it be?
You may know, my dad was a longtime pastor. Ministry runs in our family. My dad's grandpa was. So let's see here. Who could ever reach me? Was the son of a preacher man. Kind of like that. Kind of like that.
It's a solid choice.
Who's gonna this?
Who's this?
I'm quickly becoming against music on the golf course.
That one is Joy and Pain, which to me describes Tony Covey's game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see if you can get this one. So that's Don't Believe the Hype by Public Enemy.
Who's that for?
I'm giving that one to Adam. I think
That's
Adam
true.
would walk up to the tee with some Don't Believe the Hype.
Yeah, I like that.
I could kind of see that
You've
one.
done.
He's done way too much research into this.
You were ready for this question.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Do you know what song this is?
Oh no, this is One Direction. Yes.
Yep. Who could possibly be the long-lost member of a British boy band?
God. This is the worst episode ever.
Why?
If you like this, you have too many daughters.
I love that song.
Sorry, Harry. That's you.
No,
That's
it's not.
You
No.
are.
It's
you're
not.
most
No.
certainly
Oh,
that.
God.
Let's see. Do we want another one? Oh, here we go.
Whose is this?
This has got to be Miranda.
I'm Fergalicious.
Yes. Yeah. Why not?
I'll take that. I'll take Fergalicious.
Tony's lost his head. He's no longer.
Tony's lost his head. He doesn't care anymore. This one also describes Tony's game to me a little bit.
Little Bon Jovi. Chris, do you have any more before
God,
we move?
no.
I think this is important.
I have plenty more, but I'm going to save it for next week.
Well, how about we do this? Tony, why don't I put you in the hot seat?
Okay.
He's so over today.
I had this question somewhat prepped before we went into our previous discussion. However, I altered it.
Okay.
So I want to know, Tony in the hot seat, are old people that haven't died yet ruining the growth of golf? The original question was, are the old crogies ruining the growth of golf because people feel like it's too stiff to come in and take on golf? I adapted it when Harry said there's people who haven't died yet.
I don't know how strong the correlation there is to age. There's probably some of it. But I think, what hurts golf is a stodgy elitist attitude regardless of age. So, that's it.
I hate it when Tony's logical. It just doesn't. It's no fun.
Yeah.
I agree with him completely, though.
Chris, I'll put you in the hot seat.
All right.
Are old people that haven't died yet ruining the growth of golf?
It is. It's the elitist attitude. I saw something this week, and I can't remember exactly where it was, but basically declaring and trying to build up this persona of golf as a rich person's game, meaning like for rich people only. And yeah, golf is expensive. You can make any sport expensive. One of my daughters plays on one of these like super top tier elite travel soccer teams. You can make soccer expensive. You can make hockey expensive. You can make baseball. You can make any sport.
I don't think you can make hockey not expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably can't. But hockey does not have at all any type of an elitist feel to it, right?
What about stone throwing?
It's got to be a British thing again.
It is.
Yeah.
What about
Just
log?
throw a rock.
What about log throwing? Scotland.
Are we talking about like the Highland Games now? Did we?
Yeah.
But no, it's elitist because there are people that I truly believe want it to feel and be elitist, and to the degree that anything is exclusionary, right?
I want golf to be something you can't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, precisely. And you don't see that in a lot of other sports. Right now, again, I will absolutely defend any club or group or whatever for wanting to set their own rules, and people get to do that. And that's, that is absolutely part of it. But anytime you set boundaries on something, right, it makes it, somewhat exclusionary. Is it old people that are doing that? I don't want to pin it necessarily on people of a certain age.
Attitude, yeah. It's attitude, not age.
Like I said, I think Tony put it really well there. I want to have something that you can't, or I want to do something that maybe you don't get to do, and that feels good to me. I feel that happens far more often than it should. I love what we're seeing with other types of advancements, whether it's like Goat Hill, those type of environments. Matt Janella, who I love that vibe. I love that atmosphere. I love that approach of it should be fun and it should be a game, and that probably goes directly against collared shirts, pressed pants, and fancy shoes.
Cleats, man. Cleats required.
Yeah. Maybe you can play in a group of more than 4 people, and you can kind of have the fun and enjoy it as a game, because at the end of the day it should be fun. But for some people it's not. For some people, yeah, the game is fun, but it's also part of some type of self-serving need to feel important or different or excluded from others. And for those people, I couldn't disagree more. That's not at all what I love about the game. And so it's hard for me, again, to pin that on old people. I don't want to necessarily do that, but I think it's an attitude or a disposition or a perspective around what it is, and what it needs to look like.
We're switching gears. We're going to start doing weekly MyGolfSpy What's in the Bags. So, Harry, you're up first. What's in the bag? What are you playing?
All right, what's in the bag? Well, after doing the driver test, I now have a new driver, and I didn't think I would be ever playing this driver. And it is a Titleist TSI 3. And Tony can vouch for how ridiculously tight everything was. Nothing
Stupid.
ever came close.
Stupid.
So why did you go? Like, what specifically made you make the change? Like, why?
Data you can't lie. I wanted to see what was going to be best performing in the driver test, and when I completed it, And Titleist, you said it was the straightest, most forgiving, and consistently the longest.
Other than that, not much to like. Yeah.
And then I did a comparison with the Sim 2, the Cobra Rad Speed, and the Cobra F9. The TSI 3 was ridiculous. It was, my spin rates were within about 600-700 revs of each other. Heel and toe shots, the dispersion was completely within the fairway from 20 yards. There wasn't really a squirmy one. Even if I hit a squirmy one, it was 20 yards to the right. It was still in the fairway, still playable, about 300 yards out. Everything was so consistent. I never thought...
Just had to drop in that 300-yard reference.
I just had to. Yeah, I was the longest one on in the test. Just want to say that one too.
Humble brag.
It was phenomenal, and I never thought I would say that about Titleist driver because they've always been really spinny for me.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no hesitation to put that in my bag for the driver. So I've got that.
And it replaced it. What did it replace?
It replaced the TaylorMade Sim.
Did we test that one?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, yes, we did.
And then you got the 3-wood, which is the M5, and then I got Strixon Z585 and Z785 as a combo set, and then I got Vokey SM8 wedges and a 2-iron I might put in there from Strixon.
But your Vokey wedges aren't blue, the slate blue, which is obviously
They're
You
not.
say, didn't we just write
That's-
something
They're not.
about
which
it?
is
Clearly
the
the
best
best
finish.
That is really sexy. I got the jet black finish, but I'm in the market for new irons this year, as I've worn the face out a little bit, so my spin rates are dropping just that little bit more than I want. So I need to get the old new equipment, new irons coming my way.
Some people may not care about this, but like, what did you go with, like in the SM8s? Because I know this is like right up Tony's alley, grinds. When we do our wedge testing and stuff, like we spend a lot of time with the wet wedge component of it. Obviously, Vokey was pretty middle of the pack
Yeah.
in terms of spin retention. Conversely, one thing we talk about is, and Vokey, I think would back this up, that they feel like a lot of the forgiveness of the club comes in having a grind that's fit correctly to the player. And
Well, grind and bounce. Yeah.
yeah, grind and bounce because they go with one
Inseparable.
another. So
Right.
so what specifically did you end up with from a bounce bounce loft grind configuration standpoint?
So I have a 12 degree of bounce and F grind.
Because up until very recently, that was the only 50 they did was the 50F. So no shock there.
I got 54 12D, and then I have
Okay.
a 68M, and I love that 68M. Here's the thing from what I've noticed is until everyone does hydrophobicity wedges, it's a big word for me.
That's a word.
Yes, it is. You're welcome.
Harry dropping language.
Bill, I'm dropping bombs. I'm gonna go buy that boom bag too. Until you have the hydrophobicity in every OEM, you're going to give up a little bit. So with Vokey, you might lose a tiny bit of spin when it's wet, but for the 80% of the time where I'm going to be playing in hopefully really nice conditions,
Hopefully.
I love the bounce and the grind combination. It's just second to none. So until every other company either has hydrophobicity or has multiple grinds and multiple
Now,
bounces.
how many times can you say hydrophobic?
Once more. Do it once more.
Hydrophobicity.
Available exclusively on Ping Glide Series wedges.
So you go D grind, which is kind of that player's high bounce grind, and then you have
Yeah.
the mid, the M grind, which I've been told before is one of Voke's absolute favorite grinds. It fits such a wide range of players. All right, so
Yeah.
go back to the irons though. You said you're looking for new irons because they're wearing out. Why not just replace them with why not just get a new set of what you currently have?
I mean, I do like them, but I want to try out the new Strixons as well. The new
Strixons.
ZX5s and ZX7s. Or Z, whatever you say, whatever it is. Anyway, I want to try those out. There's probably a good reason why Brooks Koepka is playing them as we speak. I always feel that Strixon is one of the most underrated iron companies on the market. That's, in my opinion, a God-given truth. So it's going to be hard to get those forged irons out of my bag.
What about a putter? Did you say what putter you're playing?
Oh, I did not know. Good point.
He always holds out
He
from the fairway.
avoids this
so
one.
he
know,
doesn't
I
hit the putter.
I want to go through the whole bag here, Harry, not just your top 12 clubs, you know.
So the putter, I've got the even roll V series in there.
Are you going arm lock, mid lock? Are you trying that, or are you just?
I'm going in because I'm in my like tweak period. I've actually just gone for a regular 33-inch. Well, for me,
What's a tweak period?
Yeah, that could mean a lot of things.
well, because I'm not in competition as of yet because it's just raining every day for fun. I am just in my experimental phase.
He's doing what pros do during the off season, even if he's apparently the only pro on an off season right now.
yeah.
Tony, our entire year is a tweak period.
I've been off all season.
What ball are you using? Or is this part of the tweak period? Is this?
This wasn't tough for you.
It's a really tough one. I really like the feel and ball speed with the Strixon Z-Star XV, but it didn't perform well when Tony did his ball lab. So then it put into my mind of suspicions of, hey, is this actually centered or consistency of roundness?
Well, you cut it open for a reason, didn't you, Harry?
I did.
You played a tournament, and then you came home and you did the salt test, and you cut it open for a reason.
I did, and one of them was off-centered. Is that to say that every single one was off-centered? No, not at all. But it didn't perform well when Tony did his test in in-depth lab. I went off just a little bit off it, but I still really like that ball. So as long as quality control is decent, I think I'll be playing that ball. But again, Titleist Pro V is just so consistent, so well managed throughout ball to ball. It's probably going to be between those two, if I'm honest.
So if you had a tournament tomorrow, so let's say tournament tomorrow, what ball are you playing?
Off season ended.
Tournament tomorrow, it will be a Titleist Pro V.
Tony, what would your recommendation be?
I mean, it's the XV is interesting. It tends to spin a little bit more off the driver than a lot of kind of those X balls. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's really what space are you in? Are you in what is typically an X ball? Are you kind of the extreme X ball, like a left dash kind of thing, or do you kind of fit in the middle with the
the left dash? Yeah, that left dash felt too firm around the greens for me. I couldn't get the spin that I wanted in those like 15-yard chip pitch shots kind of thing.
Yeah, so you kind of move down the list a little bit, right? So if left dash is clicky, doesn't spin enough around the green, try TP5X. You're probably going to find it similar, clicky around the green. Yeah,
it's similar. I tried it, didn't like it. I went to TP5, really liked that. I want to see the combination between that and my new driver, because now I'm in the correct spin of 21 to 23 revs, 2300 revs. Consistently, so now the ball is changeable now. So
and again, that's the same thing with our test ball. The Bridgestone Tour BX happens to be kind of a little on the lower spinning side, not maybe to the extreme of the left dash, a little lower launching than those. So if that's your space, that's where you go. You want to go a little softer, Pro V1, the standard Z Star, kind of getting that 90 compression range, and then if you want to spin the hell out of the ball, you've got, like a Bridgestone Tour B XS.
But what do you think, Tony, in your expert opinion, what do you think a good recommendation is for me?
I haven't combed through your data, and I don't know. Again, it's like, what are you looking to do? Start from the green. And so if you're saying, hey, like a left dash is too firm, a TP5X is too firm, then you start getting into, again, like the TP5. That's kind of that next step down. Potentially the Snell MTBX. I mean, that's kind of in that mid-90s compression space as well.
That's one you haven't heard before.
What about just like stock Pro V1X?
It tends to be a little higher spinning. So if that works for you, that's in there. It's going to be a little bit softer than say a left dash, but maybe a little more bite around the green, I would expect. And there's something new we'll be talking about here in a couple weeks that's in that space. That's a maybe.
Ooh, the teaser.
Yeah.
Here's the most interesting part about my golf bag is I do not have a steel shaft to be seen apart from the putter.
Bryson.
It's all graphite, and it's for good reason. My dispersion was...
You went graphite in the wedges too?
Yep. Graphite in the wedges with Fujikura's MCI solid 125s.
Yeah.
It was night and day for me. Night and day. I could have more stability, better dispersion, same ball speeds, consistent strike compared to a 130 gram steel shaft, which after I went from one to the other, I was just like, well, I want to save 15 grams and make my swing a little bit fresher coming down the stretch. It was just night and day. Really is.
Cool stuff. Any other questions for Harry's bag, guys?
You have a speaker in it?
I do. Yeah.
Get off my lawn!
I'm going to call John Gordon back.
Well, for anyone else out there that is working on building their bag, we like to give you the best advice we can at MyGolfSpy. So, Tony, I'm going to defer to you on this one. Let's talk about some drivers that are great to help eliminate a slice. What have you got for us?
I mean, I think the conversation begins, and if you have a pretty severe slice, it probably ends as well with the Ping G425 SFT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was by far like left bias, wasn't it?
Year after year. And what we kind of look at is kind of distribution across our field of play, if you will. We test with all right-handers. What clubs produce the most right side bias distribution? And it's probably, since we started looking at it, it's been whatever the current Ping SFT model is. And this year, absolutely no different. Way more left on average than anything else that we test. And so, yeah, if you've got a severe slice, that's the one I would look at. One we didn't test because Callaway didn't want to include it. I remain curious about the Big Bertha B21. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
B21?
Yep.
Yeah, so I remain curious about that one because it's a little different approach to low spin. But the SFT far and away the best, and then the next best in terms of left side distribution was and certainly if you're price conscious, this one may be the better option, was the Cleveland Launcher HB Turbo.
Ooh, okay. And all of this is based on most wanted data, right, Tony? And from our most recent pool of most wanted testing. Yeah, and I think we talked about this. I would love to do a dedicated, like, let's really focus on slice drivers and some things I would like to do in terms of setting the conditions that we absolutely wouldn't do in a most wanted test that could be fun. But, again, based on the available data that we have, what we've seen, it's if you are fighting a slice. And there could be exceptions, right? If you're okay with an offset driver, some of the ones that are still out there may be worth looking at. But if you're just like, I don't want to go right, period, your best bet is that SFT. Okay. And is there a significant difference between the 410 and the 425 in terms of slice? We didn't do them side by side, but Ping tells us that the new model is even more left bias. So again, depending on the severity of your slice, it is a case where newer probably is going to be better because they have put a little bit more mass over in that heel to really kind of get it going towards the left side of the golf course anyway. Or at least not coming as far right is another way to think about it. Yeah. Okay. So we've got one Ping G425 FST, two the Cleveland
Launcher HB Turbo.
HB Turbo, and the number 3 spot.
The 410 SFT.
The Wilson Launchpad.
Yeah.
Really?
And again, there's different ways to kind of address the slice, and different methods are going to work for different golfers. So Ping tries to make their SFT stuff look reasonably normal. And if you put them all the G425 down side by side, you might notice that the SFT sets up a little bit closed. But I think most guys, if it's the only driver in their vicinity, aren't going to notice. They do a really good job kind of hiding the technology. So, they rely on just a lot of weight in the heel and trying to keep it clean, looking clean, maybe a little more upright. Some of the others we test, they get draw bias from going way upright. And so, that works for some guys, others it doesn't. So
we're going to put an article out here with the top 5 draw bias clubs here very soon.
Well, it's already out. It went out on Saturday.
That's right. Yes.
It's Monday, Harry.
Do you see that little trick? Too smart
for me.
So you can look back at that article, and we've got a whole list. But 1, Ping G425, 2, the Cleveland turbo something or another.
HB Turbo.
HB Turbo, there we go. And then the Wilson launch pad.
We should,
So
I'll complicate things just a little bit here because that's what I love to do.
I love when you do that.
So when we test drivers for a Most Wanted, we're essentially trying to get the best fit for somebody. So if we have a driver that has a draw bias setting, we may not test it for a guy who doesn't need a draw bias. So one to consider also, the Ping G425 Max has a lot of weight movability. So you can, again, load up the weight in the heel if you want to. And kind of the decision point for me in that kind of conversation, again, if you have a slice and you're going to own that slice and you're never really going to dedicate any real effort to fighting that slice because, hey, you're just out there knocking the ball around, having a good time, and who ultimately cares? If you can hit a little straighter, great. If not, okay, fine. SFT, your best bet. But if you're looking for, hey, I slice it now, but I'm taking some lessons, I'm going to try and fix this, and then put yourself in a position where you can grow into a different driver, something like the G425 Max isn't going to give you as much slice correction as the SFT, but you do have the ability to kind of grow into a non-draw bias driver just by moving that weight around. So
what if you have an aversion to Ping but want to play one of the top 5 OEM drivers? Is there something in that realm?
Yeah.
I don't know if people do have aversions to Ping. But.
So we saw Mizuno's STX does a pretty good job with the slice correction. Again, I would recommend, right, go to some place where you can try these head to head, because especially with a slice driver or an anti-slice driver where you're often dealing with things like an upright lie angle or a closed face where it's not 100% possible to know how a golfer is going to react to those things. So sometimes a golfer will see a closed face, immediately go, well, that looks closed, open it back up, the ball starts going right. So, basically you've accomplished nothing. So the list for me starts with Ping. I think the Cobra XD is worth checking out, the Mizuno STX, and even the TaylorMade Sim Max D as well. Yeah, so that's and even kind of the mainstream Callaway stuff, you can slide that weight into the heel as well. So those are grow into it options.
I'm looking at the article now, and 1, 2, 3 out of the 5 are glued heads. So once you have that driver, you can't change it. Ping, you can change it into a flat setting, you can change the lie angle, you can change all that kind of stuff to make it less draw bias. We forgot the Titleist TSI-1. Now that's interchangeable as well, so you can change the degrees for lie and loft on that too.
It's a really interesting mix too, because we have the dedicated draw stuff that, again, SFT and some other stuff that the Titleist will tell you it's Titleist draw biased, so which tends to mean
it's like minimal.
But again, the piece is you never know how golfers are going to react. And so among that list, we have, like, the SFT is what you would call a normal weight driver. I mean, it's a little lighter than their other stuff, but it's within the realm of conventional weight. Whereas the TSI-1 is an ultralight. And so, for some guys, that produced the distribution an anti-slice guy may be looking for.
I would say 4 out of the 5 drivers are on the lighter weight category side of drivers anyway. You're looking at the 50-gram shafts, counterbalance shafts for the Zexio. Yeah, it's a lighter one. So potentially they might be kicking a little bit early for some golfers and making it go a little bit left, as well as a draw bias within the head. Interesting stuff. Technology.
It is good stuff. And last week we talked about the driver test as a whole. So if you want to check out that video, if you missed it, that link is here. Here's a link to the top 5 drivers to cure a slice, and here's a link to the Sun Mountain Boom. You can check all of those things out. Chris, I'm going to let you take us out of this week's episode.
Oh, God, no more me.
It's not a secret I tried.
Yes!
This is for you, Hair Bear. You know you love this. You know you want to sing along.
Oh, be the biggest gift ever if YouTube copyright infringed us and took this whole episode down.
I need a lighter. They've got a lighter.